I need you to pray for me. I need you to care for me. I need you to want me to win. I need to know where I'm headed, cause I know where I'm headed.
What's going on, YouTube? Just wanted to drop a quick video here talking about the pros and cons of going flatbed. Flatbed is, there is more money in flatbed, and there also isn't more money in flatbed, if that makes any sense. Basically, you're going to be taking the bad with the good. Now, as like dry van, it's somewhat year-round freight. The rates stay more constant, in my experience, and from what I've talked to other people that pull dry van. They drop a little in wintertime, but not as significantly as flatbed does. So typically in flatbed, you make your money from March to October, and then come the end of October, November through December, January, February, the winter months pretty much suck for flatbed. I just went through my first winter almost out of February, and it was horrible. I still made money, not as much as I did in the summertime. It was a real reality check. So while yes, you can make more money in flatbed, typically, you're also, flatbed is typically a Monday through Friday operation. So you're typically getting a 34 in on the weekend. So you're losing your weekend loads. Sometimes you get lucky where you can book a load that covers your weekends, and sometimes you can't. So typically the weekends are a wash. So in flatbed, it's typically daytime driving. Now me, I prefer nighttime. So if I can find me a weekend load I can drive nights on, then I'm really happy. But typically it's daytime, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. That's just flatbed operations. That's typical average flatbed operations. So that's when you're making your money. So while yeah, we get paid, we can make more, and we're not having to work as much as far as the miles and the hours we're driving, we lose the weekend most of the time. Now you have good weeks where you can cover the weekend, and it, you know, it's nice, but you can't always do that. This is just my experience now, and from what I've heard from other drivers. I'm not saying this is concrete, so don't go off me in the comments. So you're also going to be working your tail off. So, you know, if you're getting a good paying load, throwing chains, tarping, or strapping, you know, strapping's easy, but like having to throw tarps, throwing chains, you know, you definitely, first, pulling dry van like I did before for almost 5 years, you know, back and open the doors back to the dock, go to the bunk until they come get you, or the light turns green or whatever. You know, flatbed, when I get up in the morning for flatbed, I don't hit that bunk until I'm done for the day. So I get up, drive to my deliver my load, drive to my next shipper. They'll tell me where they want me, they'll load me. Sometimes you can secure your load while they're loading you. Either way, you're just not in the bunk. So you're definitely a lot more tired. So it's kind of good that you get the weekend to kind of rest a little bit. So it's a Monday through Friday operation. You can make more money by drive the less miles, but the work is there. So dry van drivers don't physically work as hard, but they've got to put in more miles. So it's all about what you want to do. Or reefer. Reefer, I'm not a big fan of reefer, but the rates are typically close to flatbed from what I could see on the DAT board. And reefer drivers aren't putting in a lot of work. Now you're paying for extra fuel in the reefer. You know, you've got grocery warehouses where you got 1, 2, or 3 a.m. appointments. A lot of people I know that, you know, they'll spend 5, 6, 7 hours getting unloaded. And so coming to flatbed, if you want to do flatbed, just prepare to work. Prepare to tarp when it's 100 degrees outside. You know, you're gonna be hot and sweaty and dirty all the time. You're gonna shower before you go to bed. You're gonna wake up the next morning, unless you get a 1,000-mile load. We got a couple days on it, but typically, especially during the summertime, like I was last year, I was dropping a load and picking a load up every day. So I was typically doing 500 miles a day. So you're gonna be sweaty, you're gonna be hot, you're gonna be tired, and not everybody likes that. So you can definitely, I made a lot of money last year during the summertime. Now the rates were the highest they had been, and I forgot how, you know, how long they said, but the rates were awesome last year. Made a lot of money. But thinking that the money is in flatbed itself is hard. Personally, if I had to do it over again, I'd get a step deck over a flatbed. You can utilize a step deck a lot more. Typically, you can pick up the same loads as a flatbed load. So there could be a step deck driver next to me, and he makes $100 more on the load just because he has a step deck. But we're hauling the same material, same weight, everything. But it's a step deck, right? So they have those load levelers, or whatever you want to call them, to turn your step deck into the same level, you know, as a flatbed. So if you're gonna go open deck, I would highly suggest getting a step deck and get your ramps and get the levelers and everything else that comes with a step deck. There's a lot more equipment purchases in flatbed. So like, got my headache rack, my chains, my straps, my tarps, my spoke tarps, my coil racks, my edge protectors, you know, the 12-inch ones and the small ones, binders. I have so much stuff. It's moving blankets, felt to put over the load before you put your tarps on, which is what I also use the moving blankets for as well. There's a lot of equipment purchases involved in flatbeds. So while you're bringing a lot of money in, you're also putting a lot of money out. And straps don't last forever. You can protect the strap all you want, and sometimes it's still just going to get cut. You know, now you got to go buy another $30 or $40 strap depending on where you're at. So there's a lot of risk, there's a lot of reward. So I enjoy flatbed personally because I get to get out of the truck, I get to get in the sun, get outside, I'm active, and I'm not just sitting down getting fat, and which is what I was doing when I was doing dry van when I first started trucking. And you know, I'm not about running as many miles as I can in a week anymore. So if you're gonna get into buying your own truck and you want to get an open deck, personally, from what I could see and looking at the load boards, I would recommend getting a step deck if you're going to go flat or step. Double drop and RGN and what's the other one? They have their own special market and they do make, you know, good money, but it's also a specialized trailer, so there's more sitting, more deadhead, all that stuff. So if you want to get in the flatbed, just know there's a lot of cost to get into it. You know, a few $1,000s just in, you know, a dry van, or, you know, if you lease onto a company the dry van, you just pay them their $600 a month or whatever it is for rent, and you might have to buy a few straps for the E-tracks, and that's it, you're done. But, you know, flatbed, you're constantly needing more and more supplies, more and more, you know, replace this, replace that. So it's a lot involved. You're never gonna have enough storage on your flatbed. So like in my truck, you know, under my bunk I've got coil racks, I've got extra straps, I've got some binders, I've got moving blankets in one of my closets up there. So flatbed pretty much takes over your whole world, and it's an investment. You got to protect the money. I think it's better than dry van, you know, but I want to say at the end of the day, at the end of the year, so dry van can utilize, or reefer can utilize that 7-day week schedule, right? Because most of their shippers and receivers are open on the weekends and 24 hours a day. Versus flatbed, 7 to 3, 7 to 4, Monday through Friday, daylight hours. You know, sometimes you get lucky, but again, the average is Monday through Friday, daytime hours. And sometimes you can get a load to cover the weekend. But for the most part, you're doing a 34 on the weekend, and you're utilizing 5 days and trying to utilize those 5 days as much as possible. So I can make in 5 days what a dry van driver would take 7 days to make. So if you're home every weekend, then yeah, I mean that's gravy, right? That's what you want. But it's just some things to think about when going to flatbed. Definitely know what you're getting into. It's a lot of work. You're going to be tired and sweaty. You're going to be out in the cold when it's cold, the snow when it's snowing, when it's hot. You're going to be out in the most perfect weather, and you're going to be out in the most horrible, crappy weather. It's all part of the job, and I'll never go at the drive-in. I think I said that in one of my other videos when I did flatbed versus drive-in. I just enjoy it way too much, and I don't want to die sitting behind a steering wheel. I'd rather get out and work. So that's the video, guys. Appreciate you guys for watching. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Leave any questions or comments below, and I'll try to make a video or respond to your comment with an answer. If I don't know the answer, I'll just tell you I don't know. So hope you guys have a good day. Be safe out there, and I'll see you later.